Jonah here once again. Tis Sunday and we're drinking more beer. Feeling a little bit better, still feeling like absolutely battered, but it'll become apparent why I've chosen today's beer in a minute. It is one from a reasonably new ferment magazine, Scandi Beer. But nothing to do with the beer we've got. Well, barely. I'll show you what I mean. The reason why this is in, and it is another one by Ad Astra, is because it's supposed to be a NØRGE Kveik pale. So meant to be Norwegian using Kveik yeast, which is fair dues, I suppose. And it's a pale ale at 4%. I have still got no clue where Ad Astra are based. Although I very much suspect they're in the UK somewhere, but I don't know. Don't know for sure. Let's see where this one was brewed. Brewed and canned by Ad Astra, which it doesn't say where, and then imported to the EU. So maybe it was brewed somewhere else. I think they're doing contract brews, to be perfectly honest. Anyhow, never mind. In this pale ale, we have things like Simcoe, Citra, and Sabro hops, laid on top of a grain bill laden with oats and fermented with Scandinavian Kveik, resulting in tropical pina colada vibes, smooth opaque pale colour straw beer, low in carbonation to round out the palate. So, some of you may know I'm a bit meh on Simcoe hops. They are a thing. They're very, they're in a lot of beers. Sabro, again, not sure. And Citra, as I always say, is the most common, and I mean common, hop in the whole world. So you'll find it in loads and loads of different beers. It's made with Kveik yeast, which I usually don't like. But this is a Scandinavian beer using a Scandinavian yeast. Let's see what we get from this bad boy. Could be good, could be good. I'm hoping it is. We've got a black top as well. But I will have to try and remain, oh God, right. So I'm glad I did that. First problem is people do not know how to properly use Kveik yeast because it causes a huge amount of fermentation problems, usually when you're using things like fruit. But for a beer that apparently is low in carbonation, let's see what we get. Here is the glass. I've got a feeling this is going to be reasonably high in carbonation. Let's see. Okay, maybe not. It's pouring reasonably clear. Are we going to have any kind of stuff right at the end? Okay. That's a huge head, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Interesting. Right, we've definitely got 2 fingers head. My goodness me. I don't know if you can see, but the levels of carbonation are quite high. And it's mixed a lot of that stuff. That was pouring quite clear. And then all of a sudden, it kind of went a bit mental. Right. Let's try and do. Is that going to work like with one of these things? I think I can make it work if I do something like that. Yay! There we go. It's going to be one of those big eyes because moon eyes, sometimes they call it, because of that head. It's absolutely crazy. So says pale straw coloured beer. The colour's right, but that is a hazy beer. That is not a pale ale. Look at the side of that. You see the amount of carbonation. That is low in carbonation, so it says. Can you see, dear viewer? That is an outrageous amount of carbonation. Let's see if it will focus on the head. And then we'll go down here. It's just not focusing. Focus on the carbonation, please. I think you can more. It's not translating because it's not focusing very well. But it's absolutely ridiculous amount of carbonation. And as usual, I'm having problems a little bit with my focusing or the auto-focusing of my camera. But you can probably tell from that head that there's a ridiculous carbonation going on, which is not uncommon with Kveik yeast. So the people that have done the write-up on this beer, who I very much suspect are Beer 52, are either ignorant to the fact of what Kveik beer is, or they don't care. So yeah, the brewer, I suspect, are very connected with Beer 52. Ad Astra do not know how to use Kveik yeast properly. So that's just pissed me off, really. It's not difficult. Brewing is not an exact science, I agree. But if you know what you're doing, you don't make things like this. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's dive in. Oh, the nose, I should say. We're definitely getting the Simcoe vibe. We're getting that Kveik thing, which is a little bit kind of zesty, a little bit spicy, a little bit kind of estery kind of thing. Let's dive in. Cheers, guys. Yeah, grapefruit, that kind of sour thing, a little bit detergent-like. It is that kind of Kveik thing going on. There is some greenery going on in the background. There are some nice kind of tropical fruits hanging around. But people use Kveik yeast for lots of different reasons. It's meant to be a kind of farmhouse, kind of saison style, essentially. But it ferments at higher temperatures, which is weird considering it's a Scandinavian thing. You would have thought, because it's blooming cold up there. But anyway, that's the way it is. Be interesting to know what kind of Kveik this was. Voss, Hundal, there are others are available. There's quite a few different ones. I actually have some Kveik yeast that was very kindly donated by Jim, fellow home brewer, my good buddy, who is now no longer around. So I'm going to try and resurrect. Once I get home brewing again, I'm going to try and resurrect some of his yeast cultures. We'll see what we get. Yeah, made me sad, but it's one of the few things, the few gifts that he gave to me. Some people really like that kind of. It's not a full-on kind of sour thing, but it's almost like a kettle soured kind of effect that you get from the yeast, which is really, really good. I like it. Yeah. The other thing is 4% beer, basically weak as piss. Why would you do this kind of stuff knowing it was going to be a weak beer? Or again, because it's Ad Astra, has it been watered down? I very much suspect that they water down their beers. Maybe to get some money, perhaps. That's why people usually do it. Yeah, it is the normal Kveik thing, which, yeah, with Simcoe, I mean, they kind of go together. That kind of sourness, that citrus thing going on, hand in hand with the Kveik yeast. I mean, it's what a lot of breweries do. Weirdly though, I would say the actual flavour of the Kveik yeast has been watered down as well. So you are getting it, but it's a lot weaker. Does that make sense? So the hop character is not pronounced really, and the Kveik yeast itself is not very well pronounced. So I don't actually know what they've tried to do with this beer, apart from yeah, make a can of piss. We used to call Foster's piss um, back in the day. I'm not being funny, but this is not. This is kind of like a macro craft beer. Ad Astra are very good. I've tried some of their stouts and they're not too bad, but um, yeah, they haven't made a strong beer ever. So I think they're doing it purely for the cash. So I cannot recommend this beer. I really cannot. I don't think Ad Astra is a very good brewery. Um, and the fact that they're hiding things from the consumer, i.e., where are they from? Who are the brewers? Who are they? Who owns Ad Astra? Put it that way. What country are they based in? Don't know. I've got a lot of questions about Ad Astra, and it puts my back up. It says they're hiding something from us, and they don't make very good beer either, from my way of thinking. Oh, maybe I'm still feeling bad from my cancer treatment the other day. It does make me very cynical about a lot of things, and I don't like being taken advantage of. Mm. But that, yeah, is not good in my book, and I've just had two Ad Astra beers in a row. But that means I don't have any more, I don't think, in stock, which is a good thing. Anyway, my advice to you guys is if you see Ad Astra on your beer or in the shop, don't get it. It's not a good beer. Oh, by the way, £3.50 is the retail price of this. I would rather drink my own piss. It's an awful beer. It really is not a good beer. At least I'm honest, dear viewer. At least I'm honest. Guys, you take care of yourself. Please take care of each other. And remember, Uncle Jonah will return with another beer review real soon.